Hi, how are you today? So in this video I'm going to be talking again about my little mini disc player slash recorder that I recently bought secondhand. I posted a video about this a little while ago and I'd mentioned in that video that at that time I didn't actually have any pre-recorded mini discs. Well, that has changed. I recently found this one secondhand, the Beach Boys, The Absolute Best Volume 1. I was very curious to give MiniDisc a try. As I mentioned in my previous video, I had heard about MiniDisc. I had discovered it somewhere around the mid-90s, and I was always very intrigued by it and always wanted to give it a try. So I found this player slash recorder on eBay for a very good price, and I picked it up. And again, this is the first pre-recorded MiniDisc I've ever owned by the Beach Boys. I wanted to get my hands on some music that I was very familiar with, something where I could compare. And I've owned Beach Boys music on pretty much every format: cassette, vinyl, and CD. So I really wanted to get my hands on something that I could compare, especially something I could compare to compact disc. I've been listening to the Beach Boys music on compact disc for decades, so I had a really good basis for comparison. But just very briefly, I'm just going to show you, some of you may not actually know what a mini disc looks like, so I'm just going to show it to you now. This is the case it came in. This mini disc version of the album came out in 1991. So I'll show you. We just open the case, and that's basically what it looks like. To my eyes, there's a couple of things it reminds me of. In one way, it kind of reminds me of a Game Boy game cartridge, and really it reminds me a lot of a 3.5-inch floppy disk, and I'll take it out and show you what I mean. So that's basically what it looks like. And when I flip it over, yeah, so we have a track listing on the back. But especially when you look at the center there and just the general shape and size of it, it really reminds me a lot of a floppy disk. So I mostly wanted to do this video to talk about the sound quality of MiniDisc and how I think it compares to compact disc. And this is a very non-scientific comparison. This is just based on my own opinion and my own listening capability. So yeah, so all the hits are on here, you know, Shut Down, Fun, 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 Surfin' USA, all those hits that many of us are very, very familiar with. So listening to these songs on MiniDisc, basically to my ears, they sounded fantastic. And I would say that it sounds just as good as compact disc. Now, I'm not really familiar with the exact science. I'm not familiar with the exact frequency response and the audio spectrum and how that compares exactly to compact disc. I really can't comment on that, but I can comment on my own listening experience and my own opinion. And I can say that it definitely sounded just as good as compact disc. The music sounded very bright, very crystal clear. The highs were nice and crisp. The lows sounded really, really boomy and powerful. And overall, the mix sounded really, really clean. There was nothing the least bit flat about it. It was very lively and very expressive. And again, to my ears, it just sounded wonderful. Basically, how I did it was I ran the output on the MiniDisc player into my mixer, and then I used my good old realistic headphones to monitor the music. And I turned it up nice and loud. I had a good setting on the EQ. I made sure the highs were nice and high and the lows were nice and low, and it sounded really, really good. I was actually very, very impressed. So does this mean that I'm going to start a collection of pre-recorded mini discs? Probably not. If I do stumble upon an old favorite on MiniDisc for a really good price, I might pick it up, you know, and add it to my collection, but I'm not super intent on starting some big collection of pre-recorded mini discs. And since we're on the topic of mini discs, in addition, I was also able to find some blank mini discs. And They're actually very easy to find. If you're interested, you can find them on places like eBay really easy. There were a lot of sellers, especially in Japan, who were selling still sealed mini discs for a really, really good price. I think even after shipping and exchange and customs and all that jazz, it worked out to be about $9 Canadian for each of these blank mini discs. I bought a set of 5, and that's basically what it looks like. Unopened, it's still sealed, this 80-minute blank mini disc. So I definitely plan to do a future video where I'm going to do some recordings with my recorder with these blank mini discs that I picked up, and I'm really excited about that and really looking forward to that. So that's just my little overview of how this Beach Boys mini disc sounded. Again, to my ears, it sounded fantastic. For some reason, I thought maybe it wouldn't sound nearly as good as compact disc, or I guess I thought it would sound good, but not as good as compact disc. But really, it's not that way at all. I wouldn't say that at all. It really stands up, and it really performed well. And I was very, very, very impressed by the sound quality. Thank you for watching. Hope you can join us again next time. Please feel free to leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and as always, if you haven't subscribed to the video yet, or if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We now feature over 300 videos on this channel, and it's always greatly appreciated when somebody subscribes. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.